So, it looks like some exciting news has surfaced around the upcoming release of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl, the upcoming wasteland survival horror game developed by Ukrainian developers CSG Game World. For those who are new here, my name is Penal Pineapple, and I mainly cover the likes of Fallout and its multiple titles here on the channel. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is a game that I've been excited to share with my own audience for quite a while now, and as we get closer to the release of the game, I hope for you longtime fans of the series that you can join me on this journey. And with that being said, and if you find this video informative, consider subscribing to the channel. Over the weekend, CSG Game World hosted a panel at PAX West where fans of the series could come and get a hands-on experience with what has been reported as a complete product that is pretty much ready to be released. Fans of the series were able to trial a demo of the game, which included the entire start of the game, including the intro and tutorial. Before we discuss a little bit about this, I'd like to warn that there will be some early game spoilers, so if you'd like to skip ahead to the timestamp shown on screen, you can go ahead and do so. But taking a quick look at what the demo included, the beginning of the game will introduce you to Herman, a S.T.A.L.K.E.R senior researcher, who will task you with the mission There and Back Again, where you'll need to enter the exclusion zone and successfully activate a scanner and use an artifact or topaz stone at specific scanning points. It looks like that during this mission the things take a bit of a turn, as Herman will inform you that he's been betrayed by someone, and Skiff, the player character, will be ambushed by Ward and Monolith forces. Moving on from that, and according to a recent article by PC Games Hardware, it looks like that barely 15 minutes after starting the game, you can move around freely. The tutorial at the beginning of the game doesn't bother you with much more than the absolute basics. You will also quickly become aware of the lethality of the zone and the familiar dense and threatening atmosphere that makes the previous title so special even today quickly sets in. Fears that the game will take you too far by the hand or reduce its demands in favor of mainstream compatibility do not seem to be confirmed based on our experience at this year's Gamescom. Now, I'll link the article in the description below so you can read the entire thing for yourself. However, what's very interesting about this article is that they go on to mention that it was queried with the developers on what the performance and graphics will look like on release day for console players. One of the reasons why this was mentioned was that during this year's Gamescom event, the demo that was showcased there and also at PAX West was running on an Xbox development kit, and according to the article, they were able to test the game in performance mode, which ran at 60 FPS. According to the article, it states, "This year's Gamescom demo of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl ran on an Xbox development kit, while the 2023 GC demo ran on the PC. This is another indication that the development process is close to completion, as extensive optimizations and adjustments for the console versions have already been incorporated. In our case, we were able to test the performance mode at 60 FPS. A quality mode which targets 30 FPS will also be available at launch. The PC will receive some extra treats, even finer effects, and offer crisper graphics. First and foremost, PC gamers with corresponding powerful hardware can aim for higher resolutions and quality settings with smoother frame rates and, of course, benefit from more direct input via mouse and keyboard." They also go on to mention that during our playthrough, the visuals and performance generally caught our eye in a positive way. The gameplay ran smoothly on the development kit Xbox Series X and remained at least close to 60 FPS even during action-packed scenes or in battles with various mutants. It should be noted that even in performance mode on the Xbox Series X, ray tracing is used and many other features of the Unreal Engine are also used. Even in the Xbox performance mode, the Gamescom demo offered stylish lumen reflections on water surfaces, lumen GI, and apparently also virtual shadow mapping, although the latter was not clearly identifiable due to the nighttime environment. Now, according to some sources over on X, formerly known as Twitter, it was communicated that these different FPS modes would be available at launch for all Xbox players. However, it was quickly updated and communicated that these two modes will only be available for players on the Xbox Series X and not the Series S. As you can see from this post, it looks like the target FPS for Series S will be 30 FPS. However, that's not to say that in the future 60 FPS won't be available, as it does look like that CSG are working on trying to optimize the Series S as best as they can. According to a recent post from one of the developers working on the game, they stated the following: "Just to clarify my thoughts, I said something during the interview on Gamescom. Yes, that's what I said. However, it seems something glitched in my head during the interview, as I wanted to say around 35 FPS. So it could be a possibility that in some scenarios that players on the Series S could actually manage to hit 35 FPS, but it's important to note that on launch day, the game will only come with one mode and a target of 30 FPS on Series S. However, if you own an Xbox Series X, you'll be happy to know that you'll have the option to run the game in either performance mode with 60 FPS or quality mode, which drops the FPS down to 30. To be honest, I wouldn't really worry about this all that much, because as we've seen, things like this happen all the time, because when it comes to big releases like Starfield, when that game was set to launch, it was communicated that the game would be locked to 30 FPS across all consoles. However, as we've recently seen, Starfield now comes with a performance mode which allows console players to now run the game at 60 FPS. On a side note, I understand that across the gaming community there are a lot of polarized opinions on FPS values when it comes to any modern day release, with some people voicing that 60 FPS should be an industry standard for all games, and others voicing that they're completely fine with running their games at 30. However, we need to understand that for some developers, this isn't an option, as with a lot of these big releases that we've seen in the past year or so, and with more on the way, modern day consoles can sometimes limit the potential for higher FPS values. So it can sometimes just come down to the capabilities of the systems that we have. But in other scenarios, and as we can see here, developers insist that they are working hard to optimize the game for everyone across all platforms. But on the other hand, and if you have a decent PC that can run these kind of games without any issues, well, you don't really need to worry at all. Before we wrap things up for today, and on a final note, there are questions out there from fans of the series on whether or not Stalker 2 will come to PS5. The short answer is, not right now, as Stalker 2 will release on November 20th on Xbox Series S and X, and also on PC. But there have been rumours out there that it might come to the PlayStation platform in the next year. But again, those are just rumours and they need to be confirmed from the developers. As you can see from the screenshot on screen, taken directly from the Stalker website, there's no mention as of now of a PlayStation release. However, if you'd like to check out some of the frequently asked questions, and possibly some of those questions you might actually have, I'll leave a link to their FAQ in the description below. However, that's everything for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on what you're looking forward to most when it comes to Stalker 2, and what we've covered here today. As mentioned, I'm really excited to get my hands on the game and finally enter the Exclusion Zone. And if you found today's video enjoyable, consider giving the video a like, and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. To our channel members and subscribers, thank you for your continued support and helping the channel to grow. Until next time, stay safe out there in the wasteland, welcome to Vault 93, and I'll catch you all in the next video.